Okay, I want to make a quick thing to say about this. I'm gonna fix it. Because we're fucking up my. I'm fucking up my jaw hurts for something that I think I get too more stressed. So I want to say that number one, I am a SWer, and I support people who are SWer. SW has been the oldest job that has always been there because humans have needs. And that's a service that has been necessary for people the whole time. I want you to think that if you think inherently something that porn is bad, that means that you think that sex is only allowed for things that are not service-wise, which means you don't believe in sex toys, you don't believe in any erotica, you don't believe in anything other than very physical things. You can't do anything except for hands and penises and vaginas. That's all that you're supposed to do. If you believe that porn is bad, you don't deserve to have any toys because clearly your beliefs are based on a very rigid belief on sex. Sex is just a natural human thing, and the only reason you have shame is based on Christianity and Catholicism. That doesn't have to do with humans in general. It's fucking all of this bullshit from long old times that have kept you still keeping those beliefs. It's still based on shame. You're still accepting for the shame of human bodily functions. You still believe in... It's the same bullshit as thinking that periods are bad. Do you see what I mean? That's a bodily function people need to... They just have periods. They just masturbate. They just have sex. They just provide things. They just need a little extra for their pleasure. I don't give a shit. If you believe that porn is bad, it means that you believe that sex is inherently bad unless a certain very rigid rule based on any of that. If you think that OnlyFans is bad, you're not getting to the point. People will always there will always be need for sex work. There will always be people who want services. Just like you will always want a vibrator, some guy is always going to want a fleshlight. You're always going to need services and different options because we're human beings. Don't conflate porn as separate from any other extra thing for sexual pleasure. It's just it's an entire umbrella. If you give a shit about exploitation, then you need to care about things like big old companies that take huge percentages. OnlyFans is the least exploitative porn site that makes a lot of money, which is subjective. I'll get to it at some point. Ultimately, that's 80% of the income goes to the model, of which the model chooses based on the prices. So nobody has to buy that. Nobody has to support that. It doesn't affect you if you don't pay for porn. Why does that bother to you? If anything, and I already know that like half of the sex workers are disabled because there's no way to support a job because they'll either get fired if they're mental, like me, or their body can't handle as much stuff as a normal job, and the fucking wages are atrocious. If I go get a normal job, I'm getting my best $13 an hour. So if I'm gonna do sex work, I get to price it and the time that I spend on it. So I will not be making $13 an hour. It means that people will just pay me for certain services. I price up almost all of my videos. I started that since last year, that I price every video, because it's literally work that I've done, and I be compensated for shit that I do. So if you believe that OnlyFans is exploitative, then you're not even looking into what real causes of exploitation there are in the first place. If you're in America, your entire country is based on exploitation. Capitalism requires those who suffer and those who don't. The vast majority will be suffering, and a few will be stealing all of the wages. So there will always be sex work. There will always be sex work. If you want sex workers to be compensated for all of that, then you need to support something that pays well. If you hate that, then provide a more compensative job that other people can do if they want to choose for another options. But guess what? You can't provide it now, can you? You can't fix the whole country because you're unwilling to do this. Instead, you're just going to hate on women mostly, and disabled people who work for the only way that they can do. So if you want to fix it so people don't do sex work, it means you make sure that wages are livable and that accommodations are available, and that everyone can maintain a job without hatred, harassment, anything like that, for actually compensations for finances. You probably aren't going to do a damn thing. Instead, you're just taking all the propaganda from all of the Christianity and Catholicism, which rules your entire country if you're in America. Then you're not going to fix anything, because they don't believe in that. The Christianity isn't even about Jesus anymore. It's about white supremacists. So white supremacy and capitalism. So if you believe that you want people to be not exploited, then you have to get rid of the entire religions that you're swallowing right now. You're not even getting to it. So that's all I have to say. Fuck you. Okay, because I've had full service. I've been to full service. I've been online. I've done a bunch of different things, and different parts of my life I liked versus others that I didn't. But guess what? I had worse time as a cashier than I did as a sex worker. And I'm about to start as a job for a cashier, which sometimes, the way the place I'm working at, I probably will not be as harassed as much as usual, but I'm autistic. People like to hate on autistic people for actually no reason. We don't really know why. Neurotypicals are weird as fuck. They have these really, it's another form of shame and a rigidity, that they only have a certain version of nuances, and it's like hidden rules that they form instead of it's unwritten rules versus written rules. Autists, we just have these written rules where they're like, here's my rules. So here's how I feel about a certain thing. Now you'll get to know about it. Neurotypical people are more like, here are my unwritten rules that you have to figure it out and guess about it, and I can't deal with that. So people hate autistic people. I don't really know why. There's no real reason that autistic people would be a problem to you, except for we'll be a little bit better than you will be at your job because we have different thinking and all of that. So I guess it's more of jealousy, which doesn't sound right, but I don't know. They just hate them. So people will be definitely verbally abusing me at the job. Probably less than I would at a cashier at a gas station, which I was used to people being very rude to me all the time. And that's why people still give me bullshit online, because they also just give me bullshit, probably because of the autism and all of that. I don't get the same level of hate than I do for online sex work. So most of the time, people are pretty respectful, especially if they're they understand about compensating things. They're like, okay, this is work, therefore people are being compensated. So since I'm buying a certain thing, then I'm less likely to be a piece of shit. The cheaper a person is, the cheaper a customer, the worse they are. And they behave a lot worse. They basically want for the cheapest service or object, even as a customer of anywhere, that they'll want things cheap as possible. And so they don't view as abundance for other people, for people who go into this. Like, even if you think about groceries, they ignore about literal hard work and labor that goes into it. And I get it. I'm a cheap bastard. I will try to find a cheaper option. But I want to understand that there's people who was involved into this type of stuff. Usually if people are like, they don't support my services online, then they will be like, they will try to negotiate something that I already agreed upon, which I will not do. And then I have to fucking block people who go do something like that. I am still studying coding. So anyway, fuck you for anyone who hates sex workers and who hates porn. If you want to make things better, it means make it a living wage. Then you have people everywhere, the entire society. And you probably don't think you can do anything to it, and you're unwilling to work for things to change for the people of your entire country. So then shut up. You're not doing anything to fix a damn thing. I want to fix things. I'm starting with small things because I don't have enough skills for a lot of things. I want to build skills now so that I can get more options for growing different options of the society, country, whatever. I want people to be able to do that. I'm building skills now. I have a domain on the World Wide Web that I'm about to rebuy, a domain that I'm going to try to grow for creating a sex work site, a porn site. I will consider to make things more accessible for things. A lot of porn sites do have very rigid rules, so they do things like there's no piss, there's no shit, there's no poo. I already said shit. There's no periods, which is rough because guess what? We all have periods. If people have a certain specific fetish, I want people to don't have to hide that type of stuff because once again, I don't believe in shame the same way. If people have a weird fetish, do what you will. People will compensate. People will probably create this service, but they will not do it for cheap. Your fetish should be paying well. I want to eventually get to a point where I will provide a site where more models can do for all of that. And I'm tired with 80%. I want to do between 90 to 95% of all the compensation for the income of any models. I'm leaning more into 95 if I can. I don't think it's going to be ready anytime soon. I'm still learning to code now. I'm rough with all the HTML and JavaScript. It's taking a fucking while, but ultimately there will be at some point me marketing more of this site so that models have more safer options and more acceptable options, and if we continue to get into this country, which I don't think this country is going to still be doing all of this stuff if I'm getting, manifesting a certain way or working into community to build more karma for the more, a safer country and all of that, which means not porn bans. If there were porn bans at some point, then it means I need to know about cybersecurity so people can do such a thing as like VPNs and all of that, as in within the site. Because I still support sex workers and I want them to have safe options to keep as much of their money as possible. The only reason I would keep it would probably be to maintain the site. I don't know when I'm going to be ready to do it. I just know that there will be a site that I mainly maintain. And I don't know if I'm going to have developers. If it's developers, it's not men. It's not men. No, it's not. It will be queers and women, and especially for people of color. I don't even know that if you're a sex worker, probably, and that's also a better option for developers. And I don't have money for you now. This is in the future. I'm not doing that yet. I'm still even just gonna have a job at as a cashier. So that's what it'll be. I'm going to be doing that at some point. I think sex workers should keep almost all of their money, if not all of them. At some point, if I make enough money, I might be able to do it from 95 to 100. I don't know how it's going to be like. I don't even know if I'm going to succeed at this even the end of this year. So I have the domain. I will maintain the domain. And I'll see how fast I can learn about it. It's hard because of having autism and ADHD. It really sucks. It's complicated. Coding is rough right now because people use a lot of AI, and I don't even know that I'm going to keep a job if I'm doing for a company, because now they're going to use AI, which will cannibalize itself probably around 2027, where there'll literally be nothing left. So I do want to build this now because there's not going to be anything left for the internet by that time if it's going to go the way that it's going now. The people that I will support will be people that will not use a single bit of AI, if not for accessibility for vision and audio for people who literally have disabilities. I will not be talking about ChatGPT. I will not be talking about anything like that. It will be people who write things, create things, and do all of that based on their own brain. They have nothing to do with AI. And I will not even use any AI training. There will be not a single bit of that. And if I find that somebody uses it, it means you would be immediately fired, because I wouldn't keep anybody to do that, and I would have to firewall everything so that people cannot steal it at all. So keep in mind that, as you know, that I use my watermarks for all of my videos, even on YouTube. Guess what? I will watermark the entire site so that people can't steal it for AI, because I'm aware of how very thievery is going on in this whole country. So sex work is work. Stop licking boots unless you're paying the dominatrix that you're licking. If it's boot licking for the country, then fuck you. Move on. I don't give a shit. Anyway, girlies, I'm always thinking about you. Go ahead. We do our stuff, okay? Models, we can keep our stuff. I'm not ready yet, but I'm going to get it ready for people to continue most of the stuff. Obviously, it's going to be age verified. Obviously, okay? It's not going to have anything to do with animals. Obviously. I know about crimes, and anything that people are involved are people who can consent, which doesn't apply to children or animals. Boom. The rest of it, things where people are consented to this, that's acceptable. Moving on. See you later.